Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. Today is June 16th. It's Takeoff Tuesday. And as of right now, we've got 63 participants on the line. Make sure that you reach out to your team. We don't want any ICMs left behind. Today we get to learn from Bill Predebon, who is really an amazing individual who I've been very fortunate to get to know over the last few years. And we both work in Scottsdale, and I've just loved getting to know he and his wife Sherry over the last few years. We're both animal lovers and we've got quite a few things in common. So Bill has a really cool story, and just a couple of highlights from his story is he was a pro skier for 10 years in Vail, Colorado, and he realized he was not qualified to do much else. He then got into franchise and he owned a couple of stores. And due to lack of knowledge, that ended up costing him the business and he lost everything. In 2007, he heard about real estate investing and attempted to invest in real estate on his own without any education. He hadn't heard about Renatus yet. And he ended up upside down in over $400,000 during the 2008 crash. He then found Renatus and he made 8 times more in his first year than he did the previous year as both a loan officer and a realtor. Ever since then, Bill has completed over 150 real estate deals, all from what he has learned from our Renatus education. He's grossed multiple 7 figures in real estate. He's also a marketing leader, so he's doing phenomenal things on both sides of our business. He's on the PIT team, which means he's in training to be on the PAC, which is the President's Advisory Council with our CEO, Bob Snyder. We're very fortunate to get to learn from Bill this morning. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Hey, Keely. Good morning, Bill Tully. Good morning to you, Keely. How are you doing?
Awesome. Thank you. Good to see you.
You too. You sound awesome. Super cool. Thanks for the awesome introduction as always. Doing the announcements. I too am looking forward to Cabo San Lucas. I am keeping my I don't know what's the word. It's not like prayers, but I'm keeping my hopes up, right? That we can pass through some of this chaos and get into the world again. But who knows? So I got to keep positive and keep thinking it's going to happen, and it'll happen, right, guys? So once again, Keelis, thanks for everything. It was so great to see you on our training call last night. Our Scottsdale team call was awesome to see you there. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be here this morning. I appreciate the introduction and all you do for us, and I appreciate every one of you guys on the line. Megan, good morning. Working on your golf game. That is super cool. I actually like golf. It's a good time. Keep working on it. One of my team members is a golf pro too. I'm gonna go play with him hopefully next week. And all right. So I'm going to move this little annoying notification. All right, put my cell phone in here, 760-533-3141. Usually I do that all the time. 760 for those of you who are listening, 760-533-3141. For the rest of you, it's in the chat. Good to see everybody here. I clicked through some of the pictures and names of everybody to see who's on, so I'm glad to have you guys here. So this morning, and you guys know me, I always, if you've got something, shout it out. I don't care if you interrupt me, take us, our team here, any direction you want to go with something you've got going on when it comes to real estate or business and marketing and Renatus at all. And so, or text it in the chat if you've got a question or a thought or a topic or a conversation you want to have. Top of the day, Bobby Johnson. Awesome. So feel free, you guys, to interrupt me. If you're working on something, or you can kick us off if you want. I know Dane does a great job of, asking you guys how you're doing with invitations and things like that. So actually, Keely said one thing that I'll kick it off with. When I got started, she said, I have a cool story, right? So one of the things that you guys all are going to have is a cool story. And you already obviously know that you have a story, but it's in our Renatus journey, like I don't know that anybody, maybe the pack feels like they've made it, you know, if that's the right word. They've gotten to a level where, you know, they feel like they've come a long way and things are where they want them to be. Obviously, they're striving for more and better, and now they're looking at a bigger picture with the whole national team and things like that. But you know, for me, I'm not anywhere near where I want to be on the marketing side of the business, as far as numbers go, as far as accomplishments and things like that. The size of my team, you know, I really look forward to having my team have a lot of similar success. A lot of my team has a lot of success in real estate, but I really hope, I know that a lot of them want to appreciate and realize their success in the marketing as well. So I look forward to that. So I've got a long way to go when it comes to that. But it's interesting to look back on the story, man, where we all start, right? And so it's hard. Like I look back, and at no point did I think of myself as developing a story, right? Like I wasn't trying to do anything special. I wasn't trying to, I wasn't like creating a story. I didn't know that, you know, forcing my, encouraging my girlfriend at the time to sign on 100% financing house at, you know what I mean? At March of 2007 during the height of the market to, that it was going to, you know, what it was going to turn into, right? You know, I remember little things like, I remember working for this loan officer. He owned his own company, Albert DeLuca out of California. He was probably in his 60s, I think, or at least late 50s when I started with him, and I was 36. And he owned AMD Mortgage Company, and his brother was also a big-time VP for a development company, and they were buying apartment complexes and converting them into condo conversions. You guys probably heard of that back then. Well, a lot of you are younger, so maybe you were in high school, so you didn't know, but they would convert these condo conversions. So these guys were big-time players. I remember talking to them specifically in my car, and I'm like, you know, I just need to make like 8 to 10,000 a month. I'm like, if I can make, you know, that's what I was, you know, accustomed to. I played against sports. Well, it was actually more than I was making. I played against sports, really, unless you counted my cash. But I hope no one from here is on the IRS. I'm probably grandfathered in over that, though. Right? The statute of limitations has passed on that, I hope. You guys don't go back and listen to this. So, and he's like, oh, yeah, you know, and I look back and I don't think that he thought any differently. He was accustomed to making a lot of money in his business, and we were expanding in Arizona, and he was out of California and stuff like that. And you know, he thought it was going to be normal. It would be easy. And we just couldn't make it. I mean, I wasn't even making, I don't even know, 2,000-3,000 a month. And as you know, in 07, it even tanked even harder. If you guys remember, I made like I literally, if you look at my 07 tax return, I made like $17,000. Like, I don't even know. It was terrible. Anyway, the point to this all is our story, right? And so it's not just our story, but just what's going on. So if you have any questions, like if there's ever a thing that you're overcoming right now, or like that's bugging you, or you know, you can't get past, or you're trying to, a hurdle you're trying to get over, you know, and I'm referring kind of to the business of marketing, the Renatus education, you know, then shout it out, because I think maybe my experiences can help in that journey, because I'll tell you, there are similarities in today's market that there were back then. So I have a question that says, Lee, how do you respond to someone who is super excited about RE investing, but only wants to start with essentials? So this is I would say this is common. Let me give you an example, and then we can break it down a little bit. And I'll try to do it quickly so we can hit up a bunch of topics, right? So I was working with a gentleman on Friday follow-up. And we were at my house in my home office doing a one-on-one live follow-up with the guy that's on my team that introduced him to the education. And one of his questions naturally was, he saw Thursday night and he didn't understand all of the products and services and how it's broken down and how you purchase it. But instinctively, like if we think about anything we buy, like I was at Sprouts yesterday and I'm picking up some organic almond butter. And I don't know if anybody's picked up any organic almond butter lately, but it's like $17.99. So I was like, wow. So I start looking through the shelf and I'm like, you know what I mean? And I'm moving the way down because to me, $17.99 for a freaking jar of almond butter is ridiculous. And I started to look at the ingredients. I had to educate myself on the products that were being offered. And that's like eye level shelf. And I'm moving down. I'm over here at peanut butter, but peanut butter is fungus, right? Peanut butter is a little fattier and it's not as healthy as almond butter. And then you've got your cashew butters and stuff like that, a little more fat in the cashew. So I'm trying to figure out what butter I'm going to get. And I go down and then there's less organic. There's some non-GMO, right? And then there's sugar added almond butters and they're dropping in price, $12.99, $11.99, $9.99. And I'm like, after reading the information, I'm like, screw it. I'm spending $17.99. This is by far, it's got more in the jar. It's got less ingredients. It's all natural, all organic. It is not added anything. There's no preservatives. There's no sugar added. And I'm like, now I know why I'm paying $17.99. I don't eat almond butter that much. Maybe once every couple of days on a slice of sprouted bread. And so I'm down with it. It'll last me a while and my wife. So in that example, when it's in our instinct to look at something and go, what can I get away with? Do I really need that $17.99 or can I get some almond butter that's $9.99 or $5.99? Where's the sale item, right? And come on, we're trained this our whole lives. So, with this gentleman, I started asking questions, and the way that we have to respond to anything, is take a step back. And Michael says this a million times, and John O'Neill says this, right? What do you mean by that, right? Elaborate a little bit. So it buys us a little bit of time to start to think of what our answers are going to be in the form of questions. So for me, I talk so damn much and I do this enough times that it comes naturally to me, right? So I'm like, hey, let me ask you what your intentions are. What do you plan on doing? And, so he's explaining to me a little bit about real estate and I'm like, all right, so, you're asking me if you can buy a la carte, if, you can just add on. And of course, I'm going to acknowledge, I'm going to tell them, absolutely, you can do it your way. There's nothing wrong with it. There's choices. That's why they're there. And let's explain them. Why I like to start at the top. So then I start to tell people, my story. Like most of the people that I know across the country, this is a fact that I know it to be a fact, right? It's not my opinion, but my understanding, my belief, my experience has been that people that start with the combo, with the Epix combo, $23,000, they have the most success the fastest. Most of the people that I've enrolled, all the people that I've enrolled in the advanced combo ever, or even just the advanced or the essentials, they end up upgrading very quickly and they struggle, right? So I ask them if they want to struggle or if they want to do it fast, how fast they want to do it, if they want to have all options open to them, if they want to be able to take advantage of opportunities, like if they pick a particular track and if they do that, then another type of opportunity in real estate comes along. What are they going to do? So I'm not going to spend the whole time on how I solved this problem because this was a good 15 minutes of quick Q&A with this gentleman. And he was instantly back up to the top and like, there's no question. The only thing I'm going to focus on, I've got, we went right into the funding. I've got $28,000 in my 401k. I'm going to get a 401k loan. I'm going to check on my credit cards. I just have to come up with the $23,000. I'm going to talk to my wife, right? So that is a little bit of an example of how I deal with that lead. I hope that helps. If you want more specifics, so let me finalize this. How do you respond to someone who's super excited about real estate investing? I also will tell them, listen, there is no buy and sell strategy that I know of at all in the essentials. If if they're super excited about buying and selling real estate and real estate investing, buying and holding, any type of money-making activity in real estate investing of any kind, it's not in essentials. There's concepts, terminology, foundation. There is seriously good information on perhaps helping you acquire your first property with a realtor as a homeowner. Maybe your first rental, and you can have some equity in the property. You might be able to buy something that you can't really afford if you use some creative financing. Things like this, you might be able to borrow some retirement money, possibly through the essentials, but it's not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to go flip a house, buy and sell of any kind. If you want, skip the essentials and just spend the $6,000 on the advance at the very least, if that's what you're interested in. So that's another approach. All right, I love it. No peanut butter. At no peanut butter. Sam has it. Sam, okay, great. How do you respond when, you guys, I love this. How do you respond when your prospect objecting to giving their email address for your Helios campaign link? Wow. Okay. All right. So that's not easy. And unfortunately that happens maybe sometimes. So I would, number one, I would definitely get with your five-star or somebody in your community that can help you create a little value and be able to just have a little bit more experience, even though you've not done it that much, perhaps in your conversations for inviting, right? So what I'm getting at is I don't know how long along the way you are with this particular person and putting them into a campaign. I don't know if you're saying, hey, I'd like to put you into a campaign. But if they're not even giving you your email to sign up for an event, right, to register them for an event, then we're not creating enough information and not creating enough value for the event. So it's probably in our approach of asking them if they want to join this event, right? And so I'm speculating here a little bit. You may already be past this point, but I rarely ever, if ever, have somebody object to their email, especially in today's day and age. Anywhere you go, everything I do on the computer at any given time, every company wants my email. And I'm not just talking about MLMs and all that stuff. I'm talking about every dog site I go to, everything I'm going to buy online, they want the email. All right. So it is expected. It's almost natural now for people to give email, even more so than phone number. So so for me, if I was your five-star, how do we respond when a prospect objects to giving their email, you guys, to a Helios campaign? I would ask them questions. Listen, you're interested in real estate, correct? Yeah. You like me, I like you, I hope, right? We're friends. However, even if you're virtual friends, whatever it is, I have something that I'm a part of. We're working through this. You're doing your due diligence. Is that correct? You're looking to get involved in real estate investing. You're checking out different companies or different options, different Facebook groups and things like that, right? So there's a form of communication. Would you agree with that? Let me ask you this. If I have some value and you can pick and choose on what to apply to and what to attend and what to click on and things like that, would it be okay? Would it make sense for me to be able to communicate with you via email and let you know what's coming up and remind you about things and kind of follow up with you? Obviously I work with a lot of people, or even if I work with a few people, I don't have all day to just text you every time and follow up. This enables me and you to expedite the process and things like that. So I would ask a few questions and see if there's some value there. And if they say no, this person's probably not going to be your next team member. Maybe in the future, but you may want to go on to the next person. This is love. I love that question. I use it all the time. What do you mean by that? Awesome. Perfect, Keely. Okay. Mark says, I'm not thrilled about promoting Renatus without the live local meetings. Okay. It sounds like we may not restart our local meetings in Sacramento here, even after COVID is over. Education without live communities seems the same as all other gurus. All right, brother. Let's, folks, I'm going to tell you this. It is okay the way you feel. There is nothing wrong, in my opinion, and I believe Michael will back me up on this, with how you are handling and feeling about what is going on in the world. There is a choice, right? There is another way to look at things, another way to feel about things, another way to respond to things, and that's cool. That's America, okay? So don't being mad, having a little feeling like we compare to gurus. I'm down with that. we're not going to I'm not going to try to change your mind. So let's look at it this way. All right. So, and Mark, especially for people that, maybe haven't attended a nationals, maybe haven't gone to leadership. And now when we break it down to local communities, we all are struggling. We human by nature want to hug, kiss, touch, feel, all of those things. We want to meet people, socialize. I mean, we miss church, all of it. So, so you're probably not alone in the way that you feel. Now, with that being said, we've got to quit our business and not market to promote the products and just go do real estate, which is an option. Or if we want to do our business, people, and we want to share and care, right? We want to care about people, so we want to share the information. More importantly, for me, when I was starting out, even in 2016 again, this was about money. This was about making freaking money, and the opportunity to make $10,000 was pretty appealing to me. So if you want to have a side hustle, selling the products and services, then we've got to make a decision. Okay, we've got this obstacle, we've got this opinion, we've got a problem. And we've got to solve this problem. The problem is we don't have local communities. Now, this is an event that has 88 people on it. I'm willing to give you absolutely 12 years, multi-7-figure millionaire advice for free without getting paid to every single one of you on marketing, business, personal relationships, real estate, and specifically and business, right? So with that said, this one event alone, and talk about not just me, Michael Huggins, Dane Clark. I don't know if Dane Clark's a millionaire on paper. What I mean by that is net worth. I'm assuming Michael Huggins is. I know Michael Huggins has made over $2 million in the marketing. I don't know how much he's made in real estate. I know Dane Clark made somewhere in the neighborhood of, and results aren't typical, but somewhere in the neighborhood of $500,000 last year between marketing and real estate gross. So you've got people, Wanda has made $100,000 at minimum a year, roughly, or 6 figures approximately in the marketing every single year she's been doing this, and she's done a ton of deals. These are the 4 people that do an event every morning for an hour for free. So me in particular, I can speak for myself on behalf of me. If you're telling people about Renatus and you tell them about this call, it's pretty rare. This is not common, in my opinion. If it is common in a world out there of gurus, there's typically not the head guy, right, on the phone, right? I lead my team every week on Wednesday at 8:00. Gary Lawrence, and I'm speaking for Scottsdale, which you can now virtually plug anybody into any event across the country because we are virtual. So it's almost an even bigger benefit. Gary Lawrence got on a call last night for 45 minutes, coming off a little bit of a cold over the weekend, rested up. Gary Lawrence has done some amazing things between the age of 65 and 75 years old with real estate and business. And he shares his wisdom and his history and his story. And so pretty amazing. So I guess I could go on for the whole hour on this, Mark, and this is an awesome comment. So it's going to be up to you to make a decision about promoting the things. I can promise you, if you talk to some leaders in your groups, if you give James Lease a call, he will shoot him a text and email. I mean, he will have some conversation with you and help you over this. He may not even be your 5-star or your pack member, but maybe reach out to Sandy Girl Clark. She's an amazing individual who can help you with this. I put my number in there as well, but there is a million facts, or maybe not a million. There's hundreds of facts about Renatus that separate us from the gurus. Lifetime education, right? Practicing instructors, ISD, coaching included, one-time lifetime purchase, never upsold, right? Among other things. The CEO, Bob Snyder, not going anywhere. the integrity and the quality of our CEO is bar none, the best in the world. And I'm a friend of Bob Snyder's. I've known him for 14, 12 years, 13 years, and I don't even know him that well. There are the integrity of the company, the debt-free company. There are companies closing, being shut down, CEOs who don't care. They're looking at their top level people making money and nobody else. There are so many more options. The education that we provide outside of real estate investing, including some of our private, having Matt Sorensen teach a partnerships class on keeping your butt out of jail for raising money, dude, you pay extra for that, man. That is not something that is taught with most gurus. So there's a lot of facts that we can cover that regardless of the community being live, separates us. And then we do still have virtual events, and the world will come back. And it's just up to us to make a decision on whether we want to wait or we want to try to make money and help people today. Now more than ever, I was just on the phone with Rob Sperry, and there is no doubt a desire for people to look for something different in today's market. All right. So Keely had a good response. So you guys, if you could jump in there and read Keely's response. I didn't get a chance to read everything. Yeah, Megan, great comment. Absolutely. Okay, so if I am not succeeding, I know I need to work harder on self-improvement and use all the resources you recommend. Okay, got it, Billy, no worries. Yeah, Mark Kohler for sure. All right, so just following some comments, seeing if there's any questions. And honestly, even Patricia, these are awesome. These are common things that, there's no question that we come across. Gary trained a little bit on rejection last night. We get rejected, especially in the marketing and honestly in the real estate, right? I went out there to buy that 138 acres last week, right? And somehow within a 2.5 hour drive around the acreage and stopping and getting out and checking things out, and I've got the owner, the man himself, the 62-year-old, one of the greatest dairy farmers, second biggest dairy farm in Arizona, 3,000, one of the world-renowned dairy farms out in Gila Bend, Arizona. His son, Tommy Jr., my broker friend, agent, very dear friend of the owner, and me, and within a 2.5 hour period, the price of the land went from $1 million to $3 million. Complete rejection. Like, I remember sitting in the truck, and I'm like, so looking at Kate, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that the price was $1 million when I got in the truck this morning, and now it's $3 million, and nothing's happened. like it's not even like you haven't even dug the dirt. And so always rejection, you guys, constant rejection. And so there is no question that we can get frustrated, and we are going to see, it's going to take time to see results. And at every level, Bob used to train on this quite a bit, you guys, but Renatus, so you're going to have a spike. You're going to hit a $10,000 a month if you haven't already. You're going to hit a $20,000 or $30,000 a month, perhaps. You might do a deal and get paid on a sale in the same month and have a really nice fat month. And then you're going to think you got things in the pipeline, and it's going to go down. And a lot of people will quit their job at this particular point, or they will reduce their hours, or they'll go full time, or whatever the case is. And then all of a sudden they'll go through the 6 month where, you might make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $8,000, $10,000 in the whole 6 months. And it's just tough. And it cycles like that. And then the next cycle, you make a little bit more than you did at the peak of the last cycle, but then you go down, but you don't go down as far. It's a journey, you guys. You're having success, and you're getting, there's not many people that I don't even know if I know anybody that is just going to go straight up, right? And they're going to keep going up the whole time, and things are like, life changes. We will chase a little rabbit. We will go off on a tangent. We will take our foot off the gas, and all of a sudden a hill will come in front of us. And then we're like, what? All I did was take off the foot off the gas for a second, and 15 people passed us. And now there's no passing lane, and you're going up a hill, and you got a downshift, and you're freaking like, oh my God, I gotta, all this momentum's gone because you just took a right turn, or you just glanced down at your phone for a minute and took your foot off the gas. Like, that's going to happen. But you're having success because you've got to get to those areas and those times in your life in this journey. Some people, it happens in the first year, and then the second year is faster, and so on. Some people, it takes 3 years to get up the first hill. And it's cool because we're not going anywhere. Your education is not limited. The marketing is not limited. It's only being improved. The software is being improved. Added value is being improved. So there's so much more opportunity as we go. Okay. Hey, all, jumped on very low, so I'm a little lost to add to that. I'm brand new. I wanted to ask about drop cards. I looked on my Helios and didn't see it. If you guys can give me a little guidance. Yeah, Lee, you're totally right. It did happen to you a couple months ago. And man, it's frustrating. Okay, so Aurora, let's see. Man, I don't know that I can answer this, you guys, because I haven't used the drop cards in Helios. I made them in the old system. And so I don't even know if the link on the new system brings you back to the old system yet. Does that link still work, folks? Aurora, we'll wait and see if somebody chimes in on where those drop cards are in Helios, but I don't know where they are. I think you can still click on your homepage on Helios and bring you back to the business center and turn on your campaigns. And then you can get the templates. Yes, Sandy Curtis says, and she is a genius. Go to the old business center. So thanks for that, Sandy. Awesome. Yeah, click on the old business center link on the homepage of Helios. All right, cool. I'm just trying to read the comments here. I didn't make sure I didn't miss anything. So, so let's see. Let's continue on with this. With Lee Morris said something too. It happened to him last month. And honestly, it happened to me. It happens to me all the time. I think, you know, even if you look at John O'Neill, right? John O'Neill was the fastest Renatus marketer ever to pack. Michael Huggins then became the youngest member ever to pack, right? Michael and Vanessa. And so John sits on the pack for, I don't know, whatever it was, 3 years, and then has some full-blown, whatever they were. He and I would consider him a very, very close friend, a good friend of mine. But I don't even know everything that he was dealing with, working on, taking some time off, been working his butt off in his mid-30s and, early to mid-30s, and decided to step down from PAC. And I don't think it was numbers. I think it was just life. Now he's jumped back into the marketing. He's done a lot of Facebook. He's rebranding himself, and he's at the pinnacle. He's at the top. When he stepped down or stepped over or whatever, just took a sabbatical, right? Everybody it happens to, Mark. So, Michael will say this, and I'll tell you guys, Michael, it's not, Scott Rowe isn't on this call, Scott and Nancy Rowe, Bobby Tierney. So I'm going to go with Michael because he's who I listen to in Dane, but Michael's on the pack and Michael's made the most money and so on and so forth. So that's why I refer to him as a little more often, right? He's like a mentor to me in this business. So ultimately, whatever we choose, however we choose to look at any situation, in this particular case, we'll focus on this until we change tough subjects here again. If we think about this, it is true, though, that another word for our opinion, our choice, our viewpoint, it is an excuse not to move forward. And that's a little bit harsh. That is, unfortunately, tough to swallow. When I look at things and I working on some internet issues, computer issues. I'm working on some internet marketing, right? And I go to myself, I'm like, well, you know, I'm just not good at it. I don't like it. I don't want to learn about it. I'm not into it. That is all true, but it's still an excuse. It's an excuse for me to either accept that I will not get the leads generated from the internet that I'm looking to do like other people are doing, or I can choose to accept that weakness and hire it out, improve on it, right? Do an instant SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, boom, bam, there's a weakness. And instead of allowing it to be an excuse and just accepting it and then moving to something else and changing direction, I have that choice. I can be like, you know what? I just don't do that. It's not me. That's not who I am. I'm not like that. I'm not good at that. And that's totally fine. Like, we're all not good at everything. We're all not good at speaking. We're all not good at follow-ups. We're all not good at building for events. We're all not good at marketing. We're all not good at blah, 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 blah. It's totally fine. But ultimately, if you're trying to get to some point and that is an obstacle and you are making a decision, you are now looking at it, gathering an opinion about you and yourself and the situation, the obstacle in front of you, and you are forming an opinion and you are creating a decision, it can either stop you and you go in a different direction and you allow it to be an excuse not to move forward because you were moving forward. Like from what I can understand, Mark, is you were promoting the services. You believed in Renatus. It was a non-guru event. We got live events. People can hug, kiss, and touch each other. We can hang out. We can partner. We can get to know each other, build relationship capital, and boom, they stopped it. So we're moving forward, and then there's this obstacle. Boom, we get hit with this brick wall. And we're like, okay, it's just temporary. It's just temporary. It's going to get over it. And then we're like, you know what? Screw this. This is like the same thing. And again, I'm not dissing on it. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just not the choice that I chose. I'm like, I got the same issue, right? I miss my office. I definitely have a harder time closing somebody over the phone than I do in person. I have a harder time closing them on a Zoom webinar follow-up with my own lack of ability to write on the computer board versus write on a piece of paper, the comp plan or the funding options, right? And then I can't use tone and expression as much. So I've got the same reasons, but I'm not going to not market. There's no way. I still believe in it. It's the #1 company in the country. I know what it's done for me and my team and thousands of people across the country. I know what Bob Steiter stands for. I know what the educators. I know Mark Kohler personally. I know a lot of the educators personally. I've gotten to know them over time. I know what the direction of the company is going. So all of these things, I'm not going to let the fact that we have to do it online be a problem. It's just a choice that I make, right? There's not a right or wrong. It's just a different choice. It's not an excuse for me. Going online, you guys, I am an idiot. And I set up all the Zooms and I made many mistakes, you guys. We had the first meeting, 80-something people registered and 20 were on the darn call because I screwed the whole thing up. The very first Thursday night Zoom that Scottsdale Renatus was doing, and it was just depressing, right? I did the GoDaddy websites. I did the links. I did all this stuff in the back office. I had to learn. I had to call people and ask for help, which I never do. I talked to Zach and Michael and got on the team, all that stuff. And I could have just said, you know what? I'm just going to wait and see if it goes up. Again, nothing wrong, but I chose to keep my business. Because of it, I'm almost at 50 grand for the year already in the marketing business, and I'm looking at a $30,000 a month this month. So it's just a choice, folks. All right, let's keep going here. What am I missing? All right, there you go. Cecilia's helping out some folks. Great job. Appreciate it. We have to turn our ugly. We have to own our ugly. Troy Dunn. Pretty sure that guy's a genius. That's cool. Mark, you're very welcome, brother. You're very welcome. You guys are awesome. All right. So I love the thoughts. I love the comments. I love the questions. I love the help. Everybody's helping everybody out here. Please make sure you scroll up and down the chats if you can to read some other people's input because it's super valuable. no matter how long we have been a part of this company, no matter where you're at in whatever business part of it you're in, whether it's the finance part or the marketing part or the real estate investing part, doesn't matter. If you're day one or day 100 million, your opinion and your experience is invaluable to everybody here, without a question. So keep it up, you guys. Go through there. These are so, you know, that reminds me, I say this all the time, like, the other day, last week on my coaching call, my mastermind call with my team, we were talking, I'm not going to remember what we were talking about, but we were working on some real estate stuff. And and I'll tell you that it's interesting because we have these masterminds, right? And we have them all over the country, virtual masterminds right now, but we have them live. And then we have, you know, which you would more or less say they're not masterminds, but they're more a facilitation of the education. As you guys know, we're facilitating these classes. We're helping people, all of us share our experiences and what we got out of watching the classes and how we're going to go ahead and implement the classes and stuff like that. And then, of course, some people talking deals and experiences and stuff. So it's pretty valuable. That's where what Mark's talking about, that community aspect. And so, of course, we're still doing that online, these breakout sessions and stuff like that. And the interesting thing is that, honestly, everybody on this call, it's a marketing tool. Like, bar none, you're going to get something out of it. But this is my belief, and this is my experience, and this is what I experienced myself. There were no masterminds. There were no study groups. There were no facilitation of education. There was an intensive, which was a sales event. There was a Super Saturday sales training, and there was a Thursday night sales introduction. Okay, that's it. And there was a founder's call, which was featured story of the week and sales training. The only thing they had back when I started was the coaching call on Tuesday night. No one-on-one coaching. And so there is no question that anybody you introduce to Renatus, anybody, can go and take this education in the entire 50 United States in any city, and they can sit down and they can study it. They can get on Gavin's coaching call. They could never talk to another Renatus student on the planet, and they can be very, very, very successful, far more successful than any other program I've ever seen, in my opinion. Isolated and hermited and by themselves with the education that we have. With that belief, here's the next point. You can confidently go to someone in your family, your sphere of influence, your friends, your colleagues, your cold market, your warm market, whatever it is, and you can talk to them about the additional services that we provide in what we call, as you see at the Thursday night, Bob Snyder's before and after program, right? And our before and after program includes what? Property tours. I ran the very, very first property tour that I know of in all of Arizona and the whole Southwest in 2009. I called it a drive-by, a real estate drive-by, and that didn't go over well after the word got out. So we had to change the name. It was pretty funny because this house was in the gangsta area, so in a bad part of town. So it was kind of ironic. But LOL. So don't tell anybody that. So don't call it a drive-by. So we didn't have property tours. We didn't have all these things. Now we have property tours, multiple class facilitations, one-on-one coaching. We have all of these group events, community events all across the country. Look at that calendar, it blows the heck up. And the coolest part about this is, as a marketer, you can confidently say that people are learning in those groups, that people are going to property tours and they're getting an education and they're understanding. Even the ones that have joined the community, it is helping them expedite what they're learning so that they can implement it. It's helping them, it's actually bringing people together. People are discussing doing deals, raising money, how they're finding deals, not just the property tours numbers, but their own individual things they got going on. Brand new people. And so we can confidently say, listen, I've got these masterminds going on. I've got these class facilitation groups that each individual communities do across the country, and you can plug into them once you get started. And I can confidently say that I've been in them myself. If this is you saying this to your prospect, and that look at what I've learned, even on this call, right? You could go to someone and say, man, this is the help that I got, not just you, Mark, but anybody, right? This morning from, 15 people, give or take, that just chimed in, gave some advice, whatever it was, on these chats, and then myself as a leader, and a little bit more experience perhaps than some of you in my real estate and stuff. And with Renatus, I'm out here sharing multiple advice. Michael Huggins, Dane Clark, Wanda, I can't say her last name, Castastrillo. I can't. How do you guys say it? Cascarillo.
You gotta roll the R. It's Carastillo.
Carastillo. Thank you.
Bill, you're killing me.
I'm killing myself. Juana's gonna kill me. I love that girl. So she's so awesome. So we are sitting here giving you like everything we've got. And I mean, all of us, right? And then I know that all of you, 80, 90 people on this call, give everything you got to all the people that come in, whether they're on your team or not. You cannot buy that anywhere. There is not a life of abundance in the world of gurus. And we have that here. And every event that we do, you can spin, and honestly is designed to be a marketing event. It is added value to the new customer, to your customer. They don't ever need to get into any before and after program with Renatus because we cover everything. The 30 people say, well, where do you find your deals? How do you raise money? How do you talk to a seller? How do you write the contract? Like we've got a dozen plus per acquisition strategy instructors, right? Lease option is an acquisition, short sale, Brian Sump, land acquisition, fix and flip, rehab, wholesale, short sale, I said that, foreclosure, auction, pre-foreclosure, notes, right? These are all ways to buy assets in real estate. Every single one of them in their teaching talks about marketing, getting deals, getting leads, talking to sellers, converting sellers, writing contracts, and then they talk about the exit strategy. They run their formula for the numbers. So you've got every single one of these instructors is 32 mentors are mentoring you. Like Eric Counts, who owns that company, right? That's the CEO and president of a major credit repair company, credit facilitating company in the country. I don't know the status of his company, right? But right there it is. And he is teaching you as a mentor to you and your guests something about credit. All right. Someone has a question. Okay. Do you want me to do it live or online? I mean, privately?
Yeah, I'll ask it now.
Oh, good. Perfect. Awesome.
Okay. So I'm wondering what is, just concisely and briefly, what do you feel like is the secret sauce to getting people signed up and enrolled from your one-on-one follow-ups without the in-person social proof? I'm working with a few folks who have been solely recorded videos and just one-on-ones via Zoom. And it's definitely taking a little bit longer than having them in the in-person events.
Okay. This is an easy question for me to answer. I promise you guys, it is a personal relationship that you're developing with the individual. And what I mean by that is, honestly, you guys, after the intro, if I can get in front of them, whether it's especially on a Zoom, if they are not coming to my house and they don't want to, even a couple months ago, like I've had a sale every month, right? A full combo sale every month this year, plus a little individual ones and direct sales. So, and that's not even great. Like, I mean, you should see some of the numbers that people are putting up. But my point is this, is that I get them on Zoom immediately. If they have seen something, an intro or a property tour or whatever, live or a recorded one, then I am now developing a relationship. I am following up online with a 3-way call or a personal call, right? I'm meeting if they want to meet up. and it is developing the relationship. So the key to getting someone to convert is truly caring about them. And this is a belly to belly business. Like there are going to be people across the country and and I'll go on a tangent in a second, but that are going to sign up based on seeing some videos, going through the process, and they like what they see. It makes sense, and they're an intellectual, and they enroll. But or maybe they're even a director, right? And they see the comp plan, or they see making a $50,000 profit on a fix and flip, and they're like, that's me. I'm doing that. I don't care what. Other than that, the rest of the world is not just a relator, even if there are other personalities, but they still need the relationship. They still need to be heard. They need to be understood, and they need to be clear. And so the only way we do that is through relationships, not through videos. And so facts are meaningless as soon as they see the information. The gentleman that was sitting here the other day, he's enrolling 100% in the Epics combo. He's out, day one, Monday, yesterday, he's turning over, getting his 401k loan. He never even heard of it before. Right? He didn't know hardly anything about Renatus after watching the 90 minutes of me going as fast as I possibly can to get all the information in an hour and 10 minutes. And so it is immediately getting on a 3-way call with me and him and Ben. Ben was the guy who invited him, who was on my team. It was him and Ben had a relationship. So he already had some trust and already knew that Ben was doing this. And then I had to develop a relationship with him. So folks, it is about reaching out, personal text messages. Last night I texted him, I'm like, hey man, you don't need to go it alone. This is exactly what I said. And he's so cool. Like, this is just the beginning, brother. If you have any questions on getting your financing lined up, let me know. I'm here for you. Let's get on a 3-way call. The funding is step 2. The beginning is when you get the education, and then we run with it. Right. So I'm letting him know, hey man, I'm not leaving you. I'm right here. We're moving forward together. Like, you are not alone. And so it is about building relationships through text, calls, and face-to-face meetings just like this. So that's the key. That's the secret sauce, is actually giving an SH asterisk hockey stick crossed or something, whatever. You guys get my point. Does that help?
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. Anytime I start overthinking, I just ask a question to one of the leaders on the morning call, and it just brings it back to the basics and
Cool.
reminds me that I've been overthinking, and it really does just keep coming back to making that person know that they are cared about, and just identifying what their problem is and what their pain is, and showing how Renatus can solve that. So
Absolutely.
Patience at my end.
Most people that you are going to want to work with anyway, when they see the Thursday night or the property tour, they're in. They literally want it. They want it. They're willing, but they are not ready and not able. And so then we have to get over those 2 humps by getting to know them and getting them more information. But they could care less about another video. And I don't mean that. There are intellectuals that want it, and they do need a fact finding. They do need to understand the little differences and stuff, but that takes minutes versus the hours that it takes for us to just spend some time with them and get heard, and have them be heard, and answer their questions and explore their mindset so they can see themselves doing this and believe in themselves. And that takes truly caring about them. Honestly, how often would you, there was one call before, how long is too long to hold on to a prospect? So there is no time frame. However, if you only have one prospect, you're naturally, or even 2 or 3, you're naturally going to spend as much time as you can with each of them until they buy or die, right? So the problem is it's draining on you, and it's constant rejection. Like, right, we're working with this guy Marty for freaking 9 months, and the guy's really cool, and he's into this multi-family guru program, and it's pulling teeth. But he's really good, and he wants to do it, but he's not ready. He's not ready. He's totally able, and he's definitely willing to learn more, but he's not ready to do it. And so I'm not giving up on him. It's not too long. 9 months, a year, not too long for him, because he's gonna fund, whether he funds for me or funds for Jim, whatever that ends up being. So I'll get on a call with Marty when it's time, but we go a month or 2 without talking, or whatever. So. But what you want to do is you want to give birth, man. We want to give birth every day and every week to somebody new, because you're going to find a tailor. Ben found Taylor at work, and Ben was watching the education at his job. And Taylor saw him watching. He's like, what are you watching? And he's like, I'm watching some real estate education. He's like, dude, I've been wanting to do that forever. Blah, blah, what are you doing? And Taylor, and then, dude, that week, get him on. Ben texts me, boom. He's like, I got someone interested. I don't even know what to do. I've never done it before. I've only been interested in them. I've never even wanted to really do the marketing. Can we get on a 3-way call? Boom, boom, boom. I walk him through it. I'm like, do you want to do it? I give him options. You know, then we get Taylor on the phone. Then I invite Taylor Thursday night. Taylor comes over Friday, and boom, he's funding this week. Like within 7 days of him seeing, 10 days of him seeing Ben watch the education, Taylor's in. You want to get to those people by giving birth every day. So otherwise, but the other people, we're going to, and eventually that's when you'll have a $30,000 or $40,000 a month, is because you're going to have people from a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, or 1 month ago enroll when they're ready. But you've also got your brand new guy or girl who just enrolled within a week or two. All right. How often would you say you call versus text? Okay. So Megan, this is key, you guys. I text all the time. However, I don't ever text like an answer. If somebody asks me, you know, hey, what's the difference between the essentials and the advanced? I'm not going to answer that on a text. I can't, there's no way, because I'm giving a fact, and then it's like them going to a website and figuring out it themselves. And then they decide, well, I don't need the advanced. There's no way I'm going to answer a question on a text. I text encouragement. I totally understand you. I can't wait to get on a call with you. Hey, that's such a good question. Let's get together. What's a good time for you? Hey, the property tour is this Saturday. Hey, what are you doing? Just checking in to see how your funding's going. All of those minute things where I'm putting things on them to get back to me. I may be asking them a question. I may be whatever. But the minute there is a discussion, the minute I have to have tonality, that I have to have face-to-face contact, if it's even on a phone call, where I have to present questions and overcome objections, and I have to share with them information. Like if someone's like, you know what, why can't I just, can't I just, hang out with you and just kind of see what you do until I make, once I do my first deal, I'll buy the education. And you text like, no, that's not the way it works. And you text this crap, you have to get on the phone. So the answer to your question is I text all day, every day to everybody, including my team. But when it comes to heartfelt conversations and they ask me a question and it's a pivotal point that I need to ask them questions to get the answer for them, then I'm on the phone. When can you talk? Hey, that is a great question. It's too long to answer and test. I don't even justify it. I'm just like, hey, let's get on the phone. Can I call you right now? And that's when I have a phone call immediately. Anything important of any depth, when any of the 4 personalities are going to come into play, get on the phone. Do not text. Do not text answers. Do not text anything but facts and quick responses. I mean, now I'll text long responses sometimes. You guys know me. I'll text a freaking book. But it's not in a response and I'm trying to close somebody on text. I'm closing people on that. Yeah. Awesome lead. Perfect. I have had several. Yep, you have, Megan. You're killing it. Megan is, you guys follow up with Megan. I've watched her develop over the last 2 years, her and her partner, and they're just awesome, you guys. Cool. Wow. Right. Cool. Bobby Johnson. I love it. Just checking. I got 8:06, so we probably need to go. All right. I will text it one more time to everybody. 760-533-3141. So the greatest part about today is that 760-533-3141. 760-533-3141. The greatest part about today was that I had a couple things I thought about, but I was really thinking about you guys. And I was like, you know what, man, I always talk. And I would love, not even what I care about, but what would be the most valuable. And I was so grateful today for you guys having thoughts of yours. And I know you do all the time anyway. We all do, like on how to improve and how to get better and how to make more money and help other people and all that stuff. And you guys brought it out today and it was awesome. And it was such a better training than anything I could have come up with on my own. And Aurora, 760-533-3141. That is my phone number. All you ladies no, I'm just kidding. Everybody can just text me if you need me. And remember, if I don't respond right away, call me or text me again, within an hour or two, because it'll get buried and I don't have I didn't have the time right then, but I typically will get back to everybody within a day or that day or the next morning. And then if I haven't, and 2 days have gone by, hit me up again. I am terribly sorry because sometimes that crap will happen and I'll scroll down for a week in my text and I'll be like, oh my God, I never got back to so-and-so in Florida. You know what I mean? So yeah. Keely, you're the best. Thanks for all you do, putting these calls together. You're an integral part of this 100 people conference mastermind, and I just love it. And so is everybody else. Ada, you're awesome. You're so welcome. Sheena, you're welcome. Everybody, you're welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for listening to me.
Yeah,
it means the
awesome.
world.
Really awesome.
Awesome. Cool. Well, go tell your prospects. This is the crap that sells people, like over all the other stuff. Like, let them know the experiences and the feelings that you get from things like this, that the whole team across the country is coming together for one purpose and one reason. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? I love you guys. Sandy, you're awesome. We could all use a boost from each other. Absolutely, Mark. You're welcome. Kim Morrell, you're so awesome. You guys, happy birthday to everybody on Facebook. If I miss you, that was my last one. I'm going to keep trying to get more Facebooks. I'm doing more this year than I did last year. So you guys are awesome. Great call, Susan. Yep, Susan, awesome. Thank you all for participating. Aurora, beautiful
Thanks,
name.
Phil.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jana. Good to see you. Hi, girl. Nice picture this morning. Awesome. You guys are so cool. All right. Leslie, thank you. You're welcome, girl. All right. I hate ending the call, but I will end and you guys get on with your day. Make it a great Tuesday. Make stuff happen. And love you, girl. See you, Keely Beals. Bye, everybody.